Good morning, friends. Let's continue from last where I have left. So we have seen the online advertisements, how we are doing the online advertisement, each and everything. Now we are going to check the examples, a real-time example, how we are doing the online advertisement. There is one example is Twin Info Solution Private Limited, a BPO company. Though they are doing the online advertisement for their firms. So since Twin is a BPO firm which offer multiple products, see every BPO firm offers some services. So this Twin Info BPO firm is offered product and services. This is nothing but kind of case study which I have included over here, because see in every chapter, or in every subject in management, I can say there is a case study required for marketing. Especially each and every subject in the marketing, we require some case study to learn to run what's going on today nowadays in the market. For that we require some case study. So I have taken one case study of Twin Info Solution Private Limited. So offers multiple products and services which are also complex in nature. They can't depend only on the internet for the sale and marketing of their products or services. So see, basically a BPO firm is selling their product or services through cold calling. We all know about the cold calling. Basically in cold calls, company sales representative will call to the people. They will target some people, they will call and they will ask to sell their product or services. Okay, so the type of services that they offer often demand a detailed demonstration by the experts. Sometimes when you sell your product, they will call you on their I mean to say the customer will call you, and you need to go over there and you need to demonstrate your product. I mean to say you prepare a presentation for that your product, and you need to demonstrate that product in front of your customer, so that you can convince the customer to buy your product. So demonstration this is the way I can say that you can offer, you can give some solutions to your customer, so that they can currently using the online advertising marketing to create the leads for their company, and the rest they do directly by the fixing appointment with the prospects. So basically with the help of online advertisements, these kind of firm getting prospects, and with the help of prospect they are getting suspects, and from suspects they are converting into the prospects. So basically these kind of firm, not even any product based or any product service based firm, basically will target the suspects first, and with the help of online marketing they are getting the suspects, and with the help of that they are converting that suspects to the prospects on the basis of cold calling. Then they will go to directly to the customer side and demonstrate their product. So this is nothing but a kind of real-time examples which I have taken over here in the PPT itself, a kind of real-time example, a kind of case study which help you out to understand how exactly the online advertisement is working nowadays. So there is something which we have seen, the ethics, revenue model, types of ads and types of advertisement. So ethics is very much important over here in the online advertisements. If you don't have follow the ethics, there will be an issue. So twin value, the customer more anything else, as the customer are twin are corporates. Most of the BPO basically target the corporate people, so that they can demonstrate their product very easily in front of them. Just like we have seen that there is a lot of financial firms, lot of insurance company, basically they are targeting only the corporate people, so that they can easily demonstrate, they can easily ask their customer about the product, and they can easily sell the product. So corporate losing a single customer means too much for them, so they do not want to lose a single customer, because each and every customer is something for them. So they do not want to lose any customer. Hence Twin takes the most care in the way they market their products and services. So that's why the company is basically taking care, they are pushing towards the marketing, sales, so that they can more and more, they will get more and more customers. Revenue model, currently Twin is using CPC, cost per click, which we have learned. So they are getting a cost per click model for advertisement. in other domains and platforms. Other than this, Twin also hosts a website on its own. So you can see this is the twininfosolution.com. So they are also hosting their own website. With the help of that, they will get a customer. So from there, they will get a customer. Twin also hosts a website, and also it has got links to the website for their parent organization, which is CSS. So this is the parent organization, CSS Group, and Twin is a subsidiary of CSS Group, and it is subsidiary. Thurinia Leisure, which is tourism management firm. So these both are parent company, and these are the Twin Info Solution is their subsidiary. So I can say that this kind of organization basically target a corporate, which we have seen, and they are getting a revenue model on the basis of cost per click. On every click they are getting some money. Types of it: Tune now uses normal text banner ads along with the expanding ads and map ads. So we have seen the different types of ads in our initial classes. So Twin is using different type of ads. You can say normal text they are using, banner ads they are using, along with the expanding ads and map ads they are using. Type of advertisement: Twin uses contextual advertisement for their ad. Twin uses contextual advertisement for their ad in other domains. So they are using contextual advertisement, which we have seen in the last classes. So recommendation: rather than cost per click model, the Twin currently use cost per lead model, which we have seen, which prove more effective for a firm like Twin, as they have to ensure the leads appointment from the customer for which they so they are getting a more appointment, more leads with the help of cost per lead model. They can also do video ads showing the facilities they have. They also forum showing the feedback of the existing customer will return useful for Twin. They also put some advertisements, put some videos over there, a kind of customer feedback, a kind of testimonial. With the help of that, they are getting more and more customer. Because see, end of the day, when you want to purchase something, you go to some feedback, you want to go some testimonial of the product. So with the help of that, it's helping the company to sell their product and services very easy. Email advertisement can also be used for prospective customer, can be easily identified, especially for firm like Twin. So they are doing email advertisement. They are sending the emails to the customer, and from there they are getting some feedback. Since the product service offered by Twin is highly customized, and also contact ID of the prospective customers, which are corporate, are easily available, this would be an effective method for of advertisements. Social networking site could also be used, so as many managers of corporate can easily accessible through these sites. So email, basically the email advertisement, what they are doing, they are sending a bulk mail of their services and their products to different corporates. So what happened, at least if you're sending 1,000 mails in every day, at least you will get 10 to 20, I'm expecting at least 20 to 30 suspects customer you are getting, though they revert to you, and from that 30 to 40, at least you can convert 3 to 4. I'm expecting that. So 3 to 4 you can convert. So this is kind of email advertisement. With the help of that, they are converting from suspect to the prospects. Along with contextual advertisement, you can also use the behavioral targeting for their online advertisement. I have told you behavioral segmentation is also there. With the help of that, they are targeting a particular group of people, just like young people. Though they are looking for these kind of product and services, they are targeting them young, and they are geographical wise, behavioral wise, they are segmenting the people. Use of an interactive feature of the internet would be helpful for Twin, as the product services feature of Twin are complex enough to raise queries in the mind of prospects. So interactive features, in the sense they are doing some interactive features, they are putting some interactive videos, they are putting some interactive links over there, so that customer can easily influence with their products and services, and they can buy what they have required. They can take their services and products. So these are the recommendations from the Twin. So here we are completing all about the online advertising, their issues, strategies, each and everything we have completed out over here. From now we are going to start about the online advertisement, something different. This is something related with your research. How we are doing online. See, each and everything requires some research. Either you are doing the online advertisements, either you are doing the marketing, either you are doing some sell. So before that you require some research. So in advertisement also we require some research with the help of we doing advertisement and as well as the promotion of their product. So there is different kind of research we are doing in the advertisement, and just like normal in the normal case we can say that in the normal marketing we have a primary research, we have a secondary research. So with the help of that we are doing the different kind of research in which we require some data, in which we require a primary data, secondary data, tertiary data. So how we are collecting those data and how these data will help us out to complete our research. So key issue in the advertisement and promotion research, you can see that this is a kind of idea it is generating over there. So first is reliability. The research method produces a consistent finding over time. We require a consistent findings. Consistent. We require a continue finding. We do not want to stop. If we find something, we cannot stop, because in the research we require a lot of data, primary data, secondary data, and tertiary data. So for that we need to continue work on the finding over time and time. So and we need to rely on the data what we are getting. Then validity. The information generated is relevant to the research question being investigated. So whatever the information we are getting, we need to create for any kind of research. We require some questionnaire. We need to make some questionnaire. On the basis of that we are doing the research. So we create some questionnaire. Either we are going to take a questionnaire on the basis of because nobody has much time. So to whom you are going to give your questions, there should be a small questionnaire, I meant to say only yes or no, or there should be only objective type of question, so that the consumer, customer, or end user can understand your queries and they can easily complete your questionnaire within a minute. So these kind of research you need to do over here. So validity of your product. Trustworthy is usually applied to qualitative data. Does the data seems to be make sense? So whatever the data you are going to take, that should be trustworthy on the basis of questionnaire. You create a questionnaire and you need to submit, you need to give that questionnaire to the consumer and consumer or your customer. On the basis of that you are getting some input from your customer and from your user, and those data should be very trustworthy. So those data should be very trustworthy and you need to keep those data for the future purpose. So meaningfulness as assessment of the limitation of the data. So whatever the question you are going to create in the questionnaire, that should be meaningful, and those questions should be easily understood by your final consumer. So development ad research. Initially starting with the ad research which is developed, conducted early in the purpose. So we are initially starting with the ad research which is basically conducted early in the processes. So what the process we required, on the basis of that we are conducting the research. So what is the purpose for the research? Initially with idea generation. For idea, I told you, for any idea, advertisement is basically on the base of some idea, and on those ideas we are working on for some advertisements. So idea generation is very much important. How you think for your services, how you think for your product. So initially starting with the idea generation. Even when you develop a new product, initially starting with the idea generation only. So there is a different kind of I can say the steps in which we are completely doing our new product development process. So in the new product development process, so starting with the idea generation. So we generate an idea just like suppose example, nowadays in Delhi, there is a lot of fog because of cold. So a lot of fog. So people are getting because of dense. I can say air, there is a air quality is also become low. So for that, we can create something like a mask which basically filter the air, and whatever the air we are going to take for breathe, it should be a pollution free air, I can say that. So for that, idea has been generated, and you need to create some tool, and you need to create some mask which basically filter the air, and whatever the air has been taken by the human being, it should be a proper. There is no there is no I can say there is no pollution on that particular air. So this kind of idea if you have generated, and now you have started working on that particular mask, correct? So this is the idea generation. Then concept testing. After that, you need to create, just like starting with idea you have generated, then after that you need to create that particular product or services, and on the basis of that particular services, you will give your product to the, not the huge population, but a small part of the people, like 8 to 10 people, and they are using your product. And after that, they a kind of concept testing, they are doing your testing of your product, either whatever the product you have created or you have made, it is working properly or not. The third is audience definition. What the audience is thinking about your product. Now you have given for testing small amount of people in the large chunk of the people. So small amount of people have seen your product, and they are giving you the feedback. They are giving you some feedback on about for your product. Then we have audience profiling. Audience make your profile how they want their product. You can, when you're getting the feedback from your audience or customers, then on the basis of that, or you can also modify or customize the product. So these are the some conducted early in the purposes. Then we are we are focusing some groups, I have told you. So we are not targeting each and every people initially. We are targeting some small group of people. So on the basis of that we are doing this. So brainstorming session with 6 to 12 customers. So we are taking the 6 to 12 customers. On the basis of that, we are doing the brainstorming with them. We are targeting those customers. We are getting feedback from those customers. We are basically doing the segmentation on those customers only. So we are doing the brainstorming, in the sense we are continuously giving them product services and taking the feedback from them. So we are doing some in the idea generation. Basically this is happening because of brainstorming. You are getting some idea. So this kind of brainstorming we require for not a bulk people, but a small amount of people. May involve projective technique. Number one, allow consumer to project thoughts and feelings onto natural stimuli. Whatever the consumer you are targeting, we need to tell them about the project thoughts and feelings. On the basis of that, we are getting some feedback. We may involve on this project. We may involve ourselves in the project to getting the feedback from the customer. We can also use associated tests. I have told you, for each and every idea generation, for each and every product development process, we require some tests. We doing the test. So we also do the association test. Ask consumer to express thoughts or feelings after hearing your brand or seeing the logo. So basically, when you making a product, so obviously you are making your brand, you are making your some logo. So these kind of brand and logo you are putting in front of the customer, just like 6 to 12 customers, and you are taking a feedback from them. You ask them, this is my brand, this is my logo, what do you think? Is either you like this logo or not? If you like, then what do you think about the logo? What do you think about the brand? See, sometimes customer don't understand about the brand, about the logo. So that time it is very much important how you're getting the feedback from your customer, because anyhow testimonial customer feedback is very much important. How you're getting the feedback from your customer, how much time it is taking, how much time you require to get this product in up to your door. So these kind of feedback you require to much more make a productive to your team as well as your product too. So these kind of association tests we require. On the basis of that, we are improving our services, our product, each and everything. So now development advertisement research method. So there is some method which initially we have seen some method. Now these methods also we require. Projective techniques. Projective techniques in the sense we targeting. We basically when you are creating some projects, there is some process. For each and every project, there is some to making particular project. Either you are making some project for your final examinations, then also there is some process. We follow this process to complete our project. So project, for every project we require some data. On the basis of the data we completed our projects, correct? So just like if I'm doing my project, suppose I'm doing my project on the consumer buyer behavior. So how the consumer think about some products. If I want to think about the consumer buyer behavior on McDonald's, so what the how the consumer think about the McDonald's, I will do the segmentation of the consumer on the basis of age, their behavior, their habit of eating, each and everything. And after that I will take the data from them. I will create some questionnaire for each and every section. I mean to say, while I'm doing the segmentation, so each and every sections I will go and ask some questionnaires, and I will, on the basis of that, we create some data, and on the basis of data, I will complete my project report for the McDonald's. So there is different kind of questionnaires regarding how you like the food of the McDonald's. Is this hygienic? Because nowadays consumer more think about their health. They are thinking about the health first. So each and every organization in the food industry, they are thinking about the health. Either whatever the product they are giving to the end consumer or end customer, either it is helpful or not, it is hygienic or not. So those things required for project. So this kind of technique we are using, different kind of techniques for the project techniques. Then association test. After that we are doing the test on that, whatever the questionnaire we have given. On the basis of, might be some questionnaire in which we need to ask to the consumer to test some product. If they test some product, on the basis of that they will give some feedback. On the basis of feedback we create a record, and that record is nothing but a kind of association test. Sentence and picture completion. So here we are in the advertisement itself, we are doing writing some sentences, we are doing some picture, like some cartoons and all. After that there is some sentence punchline we require for make more impactful. So we required some sentence and picture. Then we require a dialogue. Dialogue on the sense, just like we have seen, there's a lot of dialogue basically for different advertisement we have seen. So sometimes dialogue is also very much important. See, we have seen when any celebrity selling some product, my industry for advertisements for any product, so they basically pitching. While they are pitching, so there should be a person who written that pitch, and there should be some dialogue which also sometimes comes. So that has been written by the writer. So dialogue is also very much important when you are going to do advertisement or selling any product. Then story construction, how you create some story. Sometimes advertisement also create on the basis of a story. So story construction, how create a story, each and everything is required. How you create a story for that particular product, each and everything. Then there is something ZMAT, metaphor elicitation. On the basis of that you create some advertisement. So this is a kind of advertisement methods which basically we are using for research purpose of the advertisements. Then field work, learn from experience of the customer through direct observation. So I've told you, we directly sometimes we directly observe our customer, what they are doing, either they like this product or not, On the basis of that, sometimes we creating our observation, and on the basis of the observation we create some product. I mean to say our of the our projects. So these kind of observation we also require cool hunt on the brow of what is cool. So sometimes we are doing some hunts, kind of some I can say that in the mall itself we are doing some kind of games and all, some kind of hunting and all. So this is finally nothing but a kind of sales promotion, as well as we are getting some feedback from the consumer, and we observe the customer what they are doing when we put this product, when we put this product, and when we product these services, and observation and their habit, each and everything we observe, and on the basis of that we create a final project. So this kind of project, this kind of observation, these kind of phenomena we basically required, and this will come on the basis of different kind of hunts, stories, and different kind of games sometimes we require, and we basically observe our customer on the basis of these work. So field work the same time is very much important. The sales guy will go on the field, and he or she will observe the customer, because it is not possible to sit on the office and observe the customer through the office. So they will go real time scenario. They will judge the consumer. They will see what they are doing. They will understand about the customer requirement, and after that they will come to know. On the basis of that, they will complete their research, and they will give that research directly to the product and development team, and the product and development team then making some product on the basis of research, what the research have been done by the research team. So there is a different kind of, the person who is doing the sales, he's also sometimes doing the research also. So the company will train him or her on the basis of sales in the research. So finally, when the company will do the salesperson will do the research, this is also sometimes there is another person for the research, but sometimes, most of the time, I have found that salesperson is also doing the research. Salesperson itself is doing the research. Company will not hire any research guy. So these kind of when the salesperson is doing the research, obviously he has to go in the field work. Then only he can research the consumer, he can understand the consumer, he can observe the consumer, and on the basis of that he can create some data. So internal company sources, you are getting from where you are getting the records. You can see these are the records from where you are getting the records. So data, I can say. So internal company resources, with the help of, sometimes your internal company there is lot of data. With the help of that you can do the research. So company itself containing lot of data, they have a database, their own database, and on that database company will basically doing the research work. So internal company sources they are doing the research on the basis of different kind of data, what they have. They have a government sources on the basis of data from on the government data, what the government data is having, like they have a lot of data on the basis of Aadhaar card and PAN card and all those stuffs. They are getting the data from there, or they are not getting data, but they are getting something on the basis of that. So government sources they have a commercial sources. There's a lot of shops nowadays open, they are selling some data. So on the basis of that they are getting some mobile number, and not through that they can directly phone call to the people and they can take the data from that. Then they have a professional publication in the sense, some just like Yellow Pages and all, Just Dial, Yellow Pages, and these kind of professional services, professional publication. Basically these people are selling the data, they will getting the data from them. The commercial sources and professional sources, almost I can say publications in which they are getting a phone book, and they can see, basically if you want to collect the data, then there is no hesitation to call the consumer or end consumer to collect the data. So each and every time you need to commercially, you need to professionally, you need to target the audience, you need to target the people through which you are getting some data, and on the basis of those data you can make your research. As I have told you, sometimes in the primary data we are getting data from these sources, but for the collection of the primary data it's nothing but you need always require a fresh data. So for primary data, when you're creating some primary data, so always you need to do fresh research on the so for fresh research you require a fresh data. So each and every time you need to go to the market and you need to collect a fresh data. But for secondary data, you can use the data which have already been used. So secondary data is nothing but company internal resources and all those stuffs from where, because company have already used those data, but still you require those data, so you can use those particular data is nothing but your secondary data. So primary data and secondary data is basically, primary data is nothing but a fresh data, and secondary data is nothing but in which you require a data which is already has been used. So these kind of stuff I told you. So both the data we require. Sometimes we require a fresh data, on the basis of that we do the research, and sometimes we require the data which has already been used. So both the data we require for our research, but most of the time we use the fresh data, which is nothing but a primary data. So copy research. Research on the actual ads, whatever the ad I need to do, we will do. On the basis of that we need to do our actual research. Suppose I want to do ad, just like we have seen the ad of Amul. Amul, we found that the ad is not a, every time when you're going to see the ad, especially the print ad, every time you find a fresh ad. So for that they are doing lot of research, they are doing lot of idea generation over there, lot of research over there, lot of data they are collecting. See, every time when we have seen in 2011 when India won the World Cup, that time the print ad is something related with your World Cup. When in 2014 when Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister and he won the election, so that ad is something different. So every day Amul changes his ad. So every day there is some different concept they have some different concept, and those concepts they are applying each and every. So each and every day they are getting some data. So every time when you're going to open the Times of India, you will find the Amul ad, and you find there different kind of ad category. For that they are collecting the data from their research. Their research team is every day collecting the data. They are thinking continuously how we need to do the ad and each and everything. So on the basis of that they are doing the ads. Used to judge an ads against the standard, so you need to judge your ad, you need to judge your data, you need to judge your ad. On the basis of that only you can think about the standard quality of the ad, and you can give the ad to the print media or where you want to give. So each and every time you need to maintain your standard. You cannot give, because the product ad is something behind the ad. A company contains a brand, company contains some logo. So Amul is a brand, it's a brand name itself. So for that, company is not using an ad which basically not giving some message. So every time when Amul is giving the advertisement, there is some message behind the ad. So each and every time they are doing some standard ad, they are doing a lot of research. On the basis of that they are giving the ad. Sometimes a sources of agency conflict. Sometimes what the agency who is giving the ad, they have some conflict with the organization. So organization wants something different, and agencies are basically thinking something different. On the basis of that there should be a conflict. So in this case both the either organization and agency head should be think about the same thing, because might be company thinking something different and agency something different, because anyhow company do not want to spoil their brand, their logo, each and everything. Because each and every time company need to capture the mind of the consumer. They want to do something for their customer. They want to sell their product end of the day. The same time, agency also has to think about on this basis of that, because agency, what the agency is thinking, they only do not want to give the ad because the ad is something like, it is status of that particular company, it is status of that particular brand. So agency, sources of agencies also think about that particular brand and that particular product. Evaluation criteria. So how we are going to evaluate? Then we are going to evaluate our criteria, getting it. Do consumer understand the ad? So whatever the ad you are going to give, consumer first understand your ad. We have seen lot of ad which we are not able to understand. So we need to think about the we need to think on the basis of consumer. We need to think about on the basis of consumer mind. Either they can understand the ad or not. So those ad only we need to give to the consumer. We need to show to the consumer. Otherwise, it is very difficult to understand the ad, understand about the product. Because if the end consumer to whom you want to sell the product, if he or she is not able to, if they are not able to understand your product, advertisement, then how you are going to sell the product in the market? So knowledge, test of recall and recognize. Whatever the product you want to give, you need to test first, so they can recall or recognize by the end consumer. There is a lot of ad which basically not understand by the consumer, so they are not going to buy. So knowledge, whatever the knowledge you are going to give to the end consumer, it is very much important. How the consumer think about the product, how they are going to buy that particular product. So on the basis of that, we require a lot of tests. We require a recall and recognition of that particular product. Then attitude change, determine where a brand stands. So each and every time you need to think about the brand. I have told you, branding is very much important. Each and every time you need to think about the brand. Each and every time you think about the logo, because sometimes company, see, there is a lot of time, years and years has taken to build a brand for a particular company. It is not an easy job. So company taking a lot of time to create a brand in the mind of the consumer. And sometimes if you are giving the ad which is not understood by the consumer, so it will spoil your brand, it will spoil all your hard work and each and everything. So you need to think about the brand first. Feelings, add emotions. You need to understand feelings and emotion of the consumer also. Sometimes some brands is very much attached to the customer. Basically some product basically very attached to the customer. Sometimes some product like Maruti car, Bajaj, these kind of product, when they have started in 1983, when the Maruti car has come into the market, then Bajaj scooters. So these kind of product is very big. It's create a very much attached to the mind of the consumer. It's become very attachment there. So we need to understand about the feelings and emotions of the end consumer, then only we can sell our product. Physiological changes in eye movement and respirations. So physiological changes in the sense how you are going to present the consumer, who are going to present your ad, how you are going to present the ad, how the body posture should be, how to sell the product. Each and everything is important, because each and everything create some movement for the final consumer. I can say that it will basically create some impact on the mind of the consumer. So basically we require these kind of stuff in our mind: movement and respiration. Behavior. We people buy the product. How will buy the product? How people will buy the product? So behavior is also very much important. How people will buy your product, you need to understand each and everything. So will people buy your product on the basis of what? For how people will buy your product? So these things, behavior, each and everything you need to. So these are some evaluation criteria: knowledge, attitude, feelings, physiological changes, behavior. So these are some. So what sort of feelings and emotion do you think research would uncover for this ad? So you can see this is some feeling and ad over here. So a small girl is carrying a dog. What do you remember most about growing up? When you grow up, when you're growing up, do you know that these kind of uh, emotions we have with our puppy, our dog, and there is some product which is basically related with uh, a puppy's food, which basically creating some ad, because when you have a puppy in your house, so basically you create a very emotional relationship with that particular puppy or dog. So each and every day you are giving some food to that particular puppy. So when you morning woke up, especially little child, when you in your house, she woke up early in the morning, or a boy, basically he or she will take care of lot about the puppy. They will lot of take care, they will do lot of take care about the puppy, and they will do while they are growing up. The same time your puppy is also growing. So there is there is a emotional relationship has been created between your daughter or son and between the puppy. So the brand which you are going to sell for this particular uh, feeding food brand for the puppy, you need to think about a lot. So how you create an emotional relationship on that feelings, and so you need to do a lot of research for that. This is about all these advertisements. So how you do the so communication research method, you do the communication, how you do the communication test. Are consumer getting any messages? When you're doing the messages, I mean to say, how you do the communication test. See, communication is very much important when you're doing the advertisement. How whatever you're gonna tell, it will easily understood by the final consumer or the customers. So how you communicate about your product. So are consumer getting the message, whatever the message you are going to give, either easily understood by the consumer. I have given you the example of Amul. Amul never write anything over there. They always give the message with the help of their cartoons. That's it, finish. Images, whatever the images they are going to they are giving over there, people can easily understand. So this is kind of message Amul want to give to the final consumer. So this is a kind of message Amul think about to give. Then resonance says, what to what extent does the ad ring true? Whatever the ad you are going to give, it is either creating any impact on the consumer mind or not. So at what resonance? So at what point of time? At what level this kind of ad you are going to give? Though listening, determine the thoughts that occur during exposure. So what the thought you are doing, what is the thinking about, what thought you are listening, what you are listening about your product, how you are listening. So these kind of determine the thoughts that occur during the exposure. What is while exposing your product, while do your exposure, what the thought is coming to your mind, this how you are going to understand this. So recall test. How much does the viewer remember from the message? Whatever the message you have given, how much viewer can understand your message? How much viewer can understand your message? How you can think about this? So this is all, because recall test is very much important, because when you are going when you are giving some ad, it should be understood by the consumer end of the day. Otherwise, it will not impact the mind of the consumer. So you require a recall test also. Each and every time when the advertisement will come, consumer can automatically understand, oh, this is the advertisement of Cadbury, this is the advertisement of Amul, this is the advertisement of ICICI Bank. So this is kind of recall test which consumer can easily understand without seeing the complete ad. So this is a kind of research. For that we require a research, we require a lot of research, we require this is a copy communication test, we require resonance test, thought listening, whatever the consumer, whatever the thinking of the consumer, we need to understand first. On the basis of that, we determine the thoughts that occur during the exposure. We do the recall test. Again and again we need to do some testing. So these are some research methods. copy research method. Then continue, we are going to recognition test. Do people remember seeing an ad or sponsor? I have told you. Recognition test or recall test. Your product or services should be recognized by the consumer. If they are not able to recognize your product or services, there is no need to give that particular product or services. So recognition is very much important. Either your product and services has been recognized by your consumer or end customer or not. That is very much important. Attitude changes studies. Measure attitude before and after exposure. So you need to measure attitude each and every time. I told you, with the help of observation we can observe about the attitude of the consumer. So we need to understand attitude of the consumer. This is basically a study. This is not a small process. This is very much tough process to understand the attitude of the consumer, because there is lot of up and downs going on. When you understand the consumer behavior, and understanding the consumer's mind, basically it is not an easy job. Physiological tests, eye tracking, physiological vanometer, voice response analysis. So this is also very much important when you are doing the analysis, basically the research. You need to continue target your consumer. So when you're targeting the consumer, you need to check their eye tracking. You need to track the eyes of the consumer, where it is going, and you need to do psychogalvanometer. With the help of that, you are doing some psychological tests. Voice response, you are getting the voice, you are targeting the voice, you are chasing the voice of the voice response analysis. You are doing the voice response analysis of the particular product. Pilot testing, testing multiple version of an ad. So we are doing the testing of ad in the different version. I mean to say, you understand the entire test process. You need to do pilot testing in the sense, see, sometimes what happens when you sell the product, when you go for the selling your product, I'm asking about the pilot testing. What is exactly the pilot testing? When you're going to about selling your product, the consumer is ready to buy your product, but what he want to do the pilot testing of that particular product. Basically this is happening only in case of where software, when you're going to sell the software, when you're going to sell some hardware or some product which is basically used in a large scale. So this is my personal experience for pilot testing. I'm going to give you a real-time example. When I was working for a software firm, basically they are selling the softwares. So we have completed the deal, but the end consumer or company wants, organization, what they have tell me that I need this particular software should be go for pilot testing. For that we have to install our software in their PC, and they will check for that particular software at least for a week. So what I have done, I have gone over there and I have installed the software, entire software in their PC, and they have seen the software for a week, and after that they will sell us the purchase order. So here pilot testing is very much important. Sometimes when you sell your product, so company required to do the pilot testing. So this is nothing but copy research method in which recognition, attitude change studies, psychological test and pilot testing. So what sort of problem would these two ads create in the advertisement research process? You can see this is the advertisement research process. They have done some research on some car which is called Pontiac Grand AM. So these two cars over there, it is this is Lincoln and this is Pontiac Grand. So these two cars, they have done some research on the basis of what? On the basis of front seat, accelerator, they have done steering, they have each and everything. So you can see that both how comfortable is this, how easily you can create each and everything, music system, their gear system, each and everything they have compared over. So when you're creating the advertisement, when you're doing the research, you need to compare at least two particular products, existing position available, apply within, and dim the lights, put on some music, and it's just you and 280 horses. So there is different kind of feeling. it shows you the different kind of feeling when you are using this Lincoln, and there is some another kind of feeling when using Pontiac. So these two cars they have shown, and they are comparing these two cars on the basis of their different parameters, and they have shown you how we are going to check this. So each and every time when you're doing the research, you need to compare, because comparison is very much important in the research, because in the most of the time when we are research on any FMCG product for their ad, we need to compare our product which is with some other product which is already running. So these things we need to keep in our mind. So then tracking in studies, we need to check how we are going to track, assess performance of ads during or after a campaign launch. We need to track, we have launched our campaign, we have done our ads, each and everything, but still we need to track our studies, we need to understand what's going on in particular segment, in particular in the market. So we need to track our studies, we need to do each and everything. We need to direct response, track consumer inquiries or direct. We need to understand about the consumer requirement, and we need to take the direct response from the customer. This is very much important. If you're getting the direct response from your consumer or customer, then it will give you lot of knowledge about the product, about the testimonial, about the consumer feedback, each and everything you are getting over here. Then single source data. Use UPC product codes to track behavior from a TV to the checkout counter. So each and everything, UPC product codes from behavior, and each and everything you are getting from the consumer. So single source data, with the help of that you are getting each and everything. Frame by frame test. Ask consumer to register feelings while viewing COR. So you can see this is kind of, I have kept over here. You need to keep this is a kind of barometer. With the help of that we are recognizing consumers, I can say test. We are doing the frame test over here, and we are viewing the consumers, what exactly they are doing. So tracking, we track the studies, we getting the direct response, single source data we are getting, frame by frame test. These all are copy research method over here. With the help of that we are getting some response of the consumer, and on the basis of that we are working and moving forward. See, planning differ from traditional research in three ways: account planner and ad researchers. An account planner works with an account executive. Research planner, we are doing the research, so research handled by the ad and research department. Researchers put in more prominent role, and researchers involved when they needed over here. Emphasize qualitative and nutritive research, and emphasize quantitative research. Basically ad researchers, we are doing more on the quantitative, we are more on the research style, and this is account, which is something related with your account planner works, account executive kind of research. So this is the different on the ad research and their regular research. After thought and message testing, no single method is perfect. We have seen, we have found, and researchers are employing more neutralistic method to understand how people use media. So you can see people using the media, if they understand the ad, then it is showing something for the product and the brand. If they don't understand the message or their communication itself, then it is an issue for the brand and advertisement itself, because if the consumer is not understand what message you want to give, then it is difficult to sell the product itself. So what we need, ad research could do with some changes. There should be some changes. There should be some proper communication. Should be brand recalling to understand the need to understand the consumer mind. West Coast agencies and British agencies have embraced qualitative method. They have do some qualitative methods. These are some ad agencies. We are doing the qualitative method to understand the consumer perspective. Ads are now often viewed as a complex social text rather than equivalent to the high school debates. So this is now become a complex social text over here. You can see they need to understand. Sometimes people do not understand because the ad becomes so much complex, the people are not able to understand what the ad is telling about. So there should be very clean or simple message. There should be very clean and simple communication between what you want to say. Then only the final consumer understand your ad and they will buy your product. So audience definition is an important part of the advertisement and promotion research process. Any idea on the audience for this ad? Boot your broker. So you can see etrade.com. So this is kind of trade ad. This is a trade ad, but we not able to understand about the trade ad. Some boys there is teasing someone else, but how could you recognize this is ad about the trading? So this is very difficult ad if you have not given your company name over here, only you are going to give this ad. The people are not able to recognize about this is the company for the trading ad. So you need to understand that how you are going to tell the consumer about your product and your product or services. So here we are completing our entire advertisements. We have gone through almost more than a 3 weeks almost, I think so. And we have completed out the entire advertisement, in which initially we have started with about the advertisements, how we are going to check the advertisement, what exactly the advertisements. Then in the later classes we have seen about the type of advertisements, how we are going to show the advertisement in the market, and we have seen the communication, how we communicate, how the advertisement is communicate with the consumer, what the message company want to give the to directly to the consumer about the brand, each and everything. Then in the later classes we have seen about the online advertisements, how the online advertisement is impactful nowadays, how it is creating an impact on the consumer's mind. Then we have seen the one after online advertisement, we have seen about one case study of one BPO firm. Then we have seen about the sales and promotion, in which how we are doing the sales, how we promoting our product, sales and promotion, each and everything. Then we have seen about the advertisement promotion research, how we are doing the research over here, how the research is helping out to add media, to add in the advertisement in industry, to add their product in each and everything. So this is all about the advertisements. We have seen from last few weeks each and everything about the advertisement, and we have completed out now the entire advertisement book. So I have covered almost all the entire syllabus which is there, and I'm trying to explain each and everything properly so that it should be understand by you very easily. I have not put any point which is very tough to understand, which is very difficult to understand. I have gone through each and everything, so that's why most of the time I have put lot of advertisement itself. I have put international advertisement, Indian advertisement, so that you can easily understand about the product and services, about the entire advertisements. So I can understand. I keep posting your questions so that if there is an issue, so I can check out over there. And if there is an issue in advertisement and promotion research, keep posting me so that I can solve your issues. And whatever I have taught till now, if you go on each and every slides, I can say each and every chapter wise, till now you can understand each and everything. So I'm stopping over here.